Up the timer's a lie. Timer's a lie. Get out of game. Out of game. There we go. Hello, everyone. Let me unmute Rifkin here. Get the other side of the cast going. Hi, Rifkin. You guys have to let me know what the sounds are like, because, I don't know, this doesn't look right. I saved the profile from last time I streamed, and usually I don't touch it, but I feel like somehow I touched it. It looks weird.
What do you mean? Like I sound too quiet, too loud?
No, like the bars has me at like 60% and like every other sound at 40%. Why not just like 180 or whatever?
I don't know. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
with stream
exactly.
delay, we won't find out in a few moments anyways.
Yeah. I don't know why it would have changed. Oh well, we'll figure that one out. Hopefully you can hear me okay at the very least, and we'll see the other sounds in a minute, I suppose. But wanted to go live a little before the brackets come up for us, because we're in the future, to go over what exactly it is we're doing today.
We have flying cars and stuff, by the way, guys. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, in 3 minutes. It's about right. Now I have to make sure that this actually works, because this didn't work in the past. I'm gonna try to window capture real quick. Why doesn't it work? Okay, I'll monitor capture. You guys can see my entire monitor. It'll be great.
Woo!
Yeah.
Don't mind all the porn folders, guys.
There you
I know
go.
Zombie got folders dedicated to farts and things, but
I mean,
mind your own business.
it's like StarCraft behind. Like you don't even see my desktop. Anyway, there's no point in trying to put our faces up. So here's the Matcherino page. Because of course today is sponsored by Matcherino, except that we didn't set it up. Snoot set it up, which is really cool. So you can see that he is like, well, he's a top donor right now, but it's also he's like the admin and stuff. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I want to actually explain that really quick. Snoot came to this with the idea of just doing $125, and like anything we get involved with, we try and improve it every way we possibly can. I know not everyone out there is going to be the opinion that BaseTradeTV brings the hype, but one of the things we try to do is at least bring some extra quality, if not money. And I hooked him up with some Matcherino. We had some good chats. They were willing to match his initial donation, so up for $125 more, making this prize pool $250 minimum today. But
Yeah.
of course, as you guys know, working with Matcherino, if you want to add a couple of bucks to the prize pool yourselves, you can make that even bigger.
Yeah, so go right here. You click on donates, and then you add. I believe it has it on the page. Let's see here. What's the mountain? That's what it was. Yeah, I already put it in, so I couldn't put it in again. But you just put it in the
In
coupon
the
code,
mountains.
and they'll give $1. I already gave it, like I said, so it's not going to work. But you guys can contribute as well. You can give more than $1. You probably are, familiar with Matcherino at this point because you've done a few weeklies with them. But it's cool that I don't know someone set it up for someone else set it up for once. But the biggest part about today, besides being Matcherino, and you guys can help donate, is that it's going to be all on one map. So you can see this is the Team Liquid thread. Here is that map. This is what it looks like. Yeah, it's.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
I don't know. We'll figure that one out, I guess, as we go in. But I mean, it's very pretty. It was made by Avex, and Snoop basically gave him guidelines and ideas and rough drawings, I suppose, about what he wanted in a map, and this is what came out. So you can see this is a base, this is the base, and
Oh my gosh, you know what I just realized this basically is?
what?
This is like weird science, but for maps.
What? I didn't
Like-
really watch it, I guess.
No, like, okay, well, the point is they made their ideal woman. He's made his ideal map. is what I'm saying.
I get it. I remember that. Well, yeah. So you can see there's back rocks here, and certainly we'll take a better look when we're actually in the game. But I wanted to give a quick overview in case you guys just have no idea what's going on, because I know we've been doing Ting lately and Corsair, normal quote unquote stuff. But literally, this is the only map that is going to be played, so get very familiar
Right.
with it.
It's all gonna be like even for best of threes when we hit the round of 8. Now these first couple rounds are only best of ones, so they'll go by pretty quick. Like bam, bam, boom, 3 best of ones, then best of threes. He's even included a third and fourth place matchup. So this will be a really interesting day, as I don't think we'll get too bored of the map. It's brand new, right? It'll be the first time we see it, but it's also gonna show us right off the bat if there's a broken strategy that works on this. Like if Reapers are too sick or too bad, we may see a lot of it. It is worth noting, though, that Snoot has been testing this, and even last night posted an update where he did specifically fix issues where Terran could unload on certain parts of the map and abuse it, Reapers could jump up on cliff faces in areas they shouldn't have been able to, so this map has already been somewhat fine-tuned and tested.
Good to know. So it looks like Sorry, I'm reading the bracket. Looks like Sound is fine, and Semper is in the bracket. There you go.
Yeah,
So
I'm a
that's
little
good
bit
to know.
low at worst, but I don't know.
I can bump you the tiniest bit up. Actually, I'll probably have the bump StarCraft 2 up. But I'm looking at the bracket right now, and it's finalized. So I brought it up.
I just realized we don't have to deal with vetoes or map picks. It's only one map.
Right?
This is
Yeah.
amazing.
And the first 2 rounds, because we're not actually casting round 1, we're getting right into round 2, are going to be best of 1. Round of 8 is best of 3. So it's it's actually it could be one of the shorter casts, I suppose. It really depends on how the map is going to be played out. If it's like super macro, it's going to be like playing an arena every single time.
Oh gosh, I know we shouldn't, but I think we should do Lillekanin versus Matiz because round 2 he fights Snoot, and
Sure.
creator of the tournament. See how he does on his own maps. He was actually really hesitant to even play today. Just for those who don't know, we had to actually convince him, like, no, dude, you should just play. Like, there's nothing wrong with playing in your own tournament. Even if you're the one who provided the prize pool for it, you should still play in it.
Yeah. I'm actually a little surprised. I'm sure he's gonna be watching the VODs later and the replays, but it would also been cool to have him like come on and cast. Just be like, oh, that's what I intended with this map, or this is what I intended with that part over there. Something like that.
Well, if he loses, I'll poke him and ask. But I know for Snoot, so I'm gonna read this quote like verbatim here. There we go. I was hoping that this is coming from Snoot, guys. I was hoping that maybe at some point having somewhat big, low map pool tournaments like this would become a thing. But maybe that's too dull or weird for players. And that's something that's gonna get interesting feedback for today. Excuse me, I mute myself as I sneeze. So I was gonna say, because we'll find out, like, obviously one map in a map pool is a little bit weird and different, and I don't think we'd ever see anything quite like this. But lowering map pools to 3 maps or something, I mean, the Alima League already kind of does this. They cut it down to 5. Moving it to 3, that's not incredibly out of the question either, considering generally speaking, we have the same 3 maps picked in almost every best of 3 we cast. You've got Dust Towers, King Sejong Station, and like then you throw it out for Frozen Temple or Frost. And then, like, if there's anything else, it's just because something weird has happened.
Yeah. With that consideration, it might be totally fine. I did find Lillekanin, or rather, he found me, because I didn't see him, but I don't see Matiz right now.
Cool, so we're gonna cast him first?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. I don't know.
Oh, man, I'm really glad I don't have my camera working today. Just saw your shirt that you claim is really awesome. I'm wearing my Kappa Starleague shirt right now. It kind of looks similar.
Really? I know what
What's
the
the
Kappa
color?
Starleague, like, yeah, the color does, but, like, I have an entire, like, robot on my t-shirt.
Oh, I couldn't see the robot. I just saw the top of, like, what looks like a... I don't know.
It's a shirt that Olivia got me for my birthday. And if anyone recognizes where this is from, I'll give you, like, a better hint, because it actually has the name of the robot at the bottom, if I just really quickly undress right in front here.
You want to just, like, slowly take off that sweatshirt, girl?
Hey. Oh, okay. Then you will get bonus points in the eyes of Zombie Grub. And everyone loves that.
Yeah, because that's totally worth stuff. You guys can cash that in at real live events. Just kidding, you can't.
Yep. I'll give you like a high five instead of just staring at you.
You can be friends with Zombie Group for 3 years and you got nothing to cash in, guys. Let me just tell you.
Are we ready to go?
I'm Gucci when they're Gucci.
Yeah, I guess the player's a little surprised that it's best of 1 until the round of 8. But yeah, that's what it is. We are going to be casting both semifinals, which I think that'll be fine because it'd already be a short cast if we didn't.
Yeah, the third place match is what throws me for a bit of a loop. But honestly, the format, the style, this isn't too different than what the old Alima Leagues used to be even. So
yeah,
I personally got no beef, no issues.
All right, well, they're ready. Let's get in the game.
Cool. And while we're loading in, just a quick side note, in case you guys get a little bit bored or find yourself missing some of the matches today, Zombie Up and I did another mutator mode, or excuse me, another co-op mode video on YouTube. We didn't actually broadcast this one, so it is like YouTube exclusive content. She's got her point of view up on her channel, which is linked from the video uploaded on the BaseTradeTV channel. So if you guys want to check that out, we kind of suck.
Whoa, whoa,
I think it's worth
whoa.
watching.
Okay, I figured things out. Okay, I haven't played co-op since, like, I think we tried when I Legacy of the Void released.
with pugs, okay, but
whatever, man. Oh man, you're talking about playing, and I started playing.
I selected the command center too in the SCVs. I feel really weird right now. All right,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome well, you know what? This is called like the Huangshan Mountain Cup, but I kind of want to just call this Snoot's tournament because it's really what it is. But it's a tournament where he created a map with a map maker named Avex. All the maps of the map tournament today are just one map, and it's this one you're seeing now. In the bottom left side, spawning to kick this off with that wonderful green matching that map, it's going to be none other than Lillekanin.
The top right as the blue Zerg, he is Matiz.
Now, I would like to quickly just tour around the map. I already see a couple of very interesting things right off the bat, one of them being the rocks in your main. Now, this is interesting because you've got what is already a wall off, right? Rocks on the bottom of that ramp. But then you've got destructible rocks at the top of it, so you can really double layer that if you're worried about someone breaking in through the back door. This, to me, doesn't seem like anything that would ever come into effect in the early game, but it does seem like something I can see a Terran player dropping a tank behind, having a good time knocking down that rock, and just safely harassing that gas.
Yeah, I guess I can consider that. I just imagine Lings would immediately get on this one, and then it would be up for the Protoss and the... Well, actually, all the races, even as EVZ, you'd probably still want to break on these rocks.
Yeah.
Because, I guess you could put a Marine over here, but I think that's the purpose of, like, the brush, is to make it so it is actually a little bit easier for the sneakier attacker to try and get it without you noticing. But let's take a look at if there's any Reaper spots. No, not really. There's a one spot for the Reaper, but it's not like a, Frozen Temple was like a lot of area.
That was actually like closed in a bit before. I guess the original version was a bit wider. That's one of the map notes that Snoot had made. But what I really like here is in the middle of the map, just aesthetically for a moment, this sort of pool of water. I think this body of water looks really fantastic in the first place. Watchtowers over it. But according to Snoot, in the original like alpha versions of the map, there was a huge issue where units walking through it would make a lot of freaking noise. Like legs would just splash like crazy. I kind of hope that still happens a bit. But again, I love the way this pool of water just it's almost like magically sparkling too. It looks great.
That was the first thing I liked about seeing the map in preview form, was that they're experimenting again with having water as part of the terrain. Take a look at the natural. I mean, there's a bit of a choke, enough that maybe you could try and wall off. Like, at least you have a roach war and whatnot, but, like, not, like, super that you could wall off with 3 bunkers. At least I'm pretty sure. And, of course, the rocks being broken down, I guess, would wall you out. There's rocks over here. They'd have to go all the way around the map, it looks like. This way or this way. Yeah. That's kind of interesting. So, the middle of the map is actually pretty narrow. I'm not really sure what will be the path of attack. I mean, let's say that Lillekanin pushes out. He goes, tries to go down here, tries to go through the middle of the water, and then gets stuck, I guess. Kind of like Heavy Rain.
I just want to state that it is a damn shame that this is only best of 1. One of the reasons I was hoping to see Lillekanin is he is one of these players that plays a bit different, and he's one of the guys I think would experiment around with the map. He's no supernova by any means, and rest in peace, we missed that guy, but with his different playstyle, his Hellion drops, you name it, he's someone I can certainly see showing some fun aspects of this map. I do like that they built a depot back here, though a bit unnecessary.
Well, I guess that is one way of just being alerted if you're not going to have something back there watching the rocks. Well, there are actually more than one aspect reminding me of Heavy Rain. So, Heavy Rain didn't have, like, back rocks, but it had a lot of area in your main that you had to cover. So there's actually plenty of, like, just enough dark space that you could put a Nidus Worm or drop and they wouldn't notice. Same, like, far to the left, if Lillekanin wasn't building here, I think that would be a black spot.
So I love that he's kind of doing a bit of a sneaky build off to the side. 2 starports going to look fantastic, but as you bring this up, it just occurs to me, I actually am in love with the size of this main. It's just big enough, and it's not too big. Like, I really like the size of the main.
I actually think it's a little too big. But the point might be to try and, because Heavy Rain, it had, like, big, like, spots of black that you had to put, like, 5 supply depots down to cover your entire base. This, I guess, is a little, it's not as bad, but there are still spots. Like, you really have to just, spread out to cover everything. And then, of course, the other one is the fact that there's, like, the middle of the map looks like the most, like, obvious attack path, but actually has rocks, for instance. I guess that actually widened it, and is a choke, so you have to be very careful going into it. That Banshee's gonna get in here. There are Spore Crawlers.
Yeah, just quick reminder, by the way, before this attack gets underway. There's still tons of codes left, guys. Make sure to get on Match Arena and use that code MOUNTAIN ASAP. Now, of course, one Banshee normally is kind of, you mitigate the damage, and you say, okay, lost 6 or 10 drones, I can make up for it. But as we saw, there's Hellions coming here on the 3rd base. You've got that other Banshee coming out in a moment, too. More factories coming down. We got a full-on mech build. Uh-oh.
Well, the tanks are not yet, and there's not a Banshee back at home.
Oh, and he's not repairing the bunker. SCV said had to have been like pre-pulled for this, but he's wasting shots on the Hellions. Lillekanin would have had time to repair this, but just the Roach is backing away. He's going to be safe and sound. Here come those Banshees. The cavalry has arrived.
Yeah, and the Roaches can't really do very much. They weren't actually doing enough anyway, even without the Banshees. They were trying to take down aliens. So they look like they're going to be chased. This might be, like, you know, a bit of a waste of time for the Banshees. You know, what if Matiz was getting a Spire and he was about to finish it? But actually, Matiz might be playing just a little too loose against these Banshees. Sure, he has one Spore Crawler now on every base, but only, you know, a couple of Queens to help out, and honestly, when they get to a certain count of Banshees, it doesn't matter what you have. So it's a little scary. There is a Spire, but it's a long way from finishing.
Okay, well, this is going to be certainly nice to have for the Banshees, consideration of not letting these get out of hand. As we've seen, even Hydras in some cases don't work out so well when there's enough Banshees in play. But I'm more interested in the follow-up on this. First off, we got Cyclones coming in on the ground. We discussed this recently. The Cyclones got an awesome, not even buff, but a fix. They had 2.5 times like their normal cooldown. We got Magfield Accelerator being researched. For those who don't know what this does, it essentially doubles the damage of lock-on. Not essentially, it does double the damage of lock-on to armored units, 800 over 14 seconds instead of 400 over 18 seconds.
It's an insane amount of damage, but the hardest part about going for Cyclones or just mech in general is ramping up to a point where the army is just not being overwhelmed, and that's what these Banshees are going to hope and make sure doesn't happen. If Matiz is losing drones, he has to replace drones. If he's losing drones, he doesn't have a big bank to just overwhelm immediately. If he's losing drones, he's probably not getting a 4th very quickly, or he's losing a 4th because he can't go defend it, just like that. And sometimes a couple of key structures get picked off, like this Hydrogen could probably be picked off.
Again, guys, Zombie doesn't normally stream. Having some data issues here on my end today, which is why she is. They're saying the game sounds a little bit low. If you wouldn't mind trying to up that a bit.
Okay, I was going to wait till after the game. But here we go. There's the
Smack,
menu.
you got time.
So I also wanted to do this.
Banshees back in the main aren't really doing too much. They do get on top of one of the extractors. But the Hydras push them off and barely get out of there with the health alive, but still get out alive. I thought for sure we'd see like a bigger dedication to these Banshees, but I think the Cyclones are going to catch Matiz off guard. He's going for a lot of Corruptors, he's going for a lot of Hydras and Roaches, and unfortunately, as weak and fragile as Cyclones can be, they're very fast, and they can run pretty much all Zerg units off creep. So if you can get that lock on and back away, no problem. If he's got Hellions buffering on the front lines, they do bonus damage versus the light. There's your Hydra problem taken care of. Blue Flame might get it even easier getting started as we speak. So Lillekanin is going to go for this strategy that was really great in the beta and was frankly almost broken face rolly win in the beta. Cyclones, lots of Hellions. What I love that he's added in as the difference, though, is this continued Banshee production.
Yeah, that could be tricky. We do have Matiz not just going for Corruptors, though. He's getting a Ground Army, he's getting Hive. He is not getting any upgrades, which is a little worrying. I think he realized that too. Now his double Evolution Chamber, but Mech's actually going to have a substantial upgrade lead, which isn't so usual.
I like the Hive, though. Vipers are going to be really good in a couple of different regards. One is obviously Parasitic Bomb on the Banshees. Takes 2 Parasitic Bombs to kill a Banshee. But more importantly, the Abducts and the Cyclones are one of the ways we saw them get shut down in the beta. I wouldn't imagine that's going to be too different here now.
I don't know if he's able to see that was a... I think he saw that one as a factory. I don't know. Or he wasn't even able to click on it. We have 2 more starports on the way, and it is important for Matiz to note like what exact direction Lillekanin is going. Is he staying more on factory mech, or is he trying to go for a mass, mass starport build, which is actually what he's trying to do. Hellions are just darting in, not getting very much done. Banshees are just trying to cancel the 4th as many times as possible.
This goes back to the importance of that Magfield Accelerator upgrade. Cyclones, they don't need weapon upgrades. Hellions got the Blue Flame. They've already got their upgrades. You could go for +3, sure, but I mean, frankly, they've already gotten all the upgrades they need. Corruptors used to be and kind of are still the answer to Liberators. You know, Liberators don't do that much damage to them anymore, but that's where the Cyclones really come in handy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited to see this strategy just because, A, this is one I've been yearning for to see in a while. But on top of this, again, we're seeing it on this new map. We haven't seen anything too broken about the map. Income graphs, by the way, kind of reflecting a lot of back and forth. You know, Matiz was winning the income game, then Lillekanin expanded, then it evened out, and now we're kind of in a bit of an odd spot. This is not going to be a planetary, so it is going to get knocked down pretty easily. Cyclone's going to have to reveal themselves, and this is the first time Matiz is going to get an eye on this massive ground army.
Sucks that he would lose units for sure, but doesn't get that command center. As of course, running away from Cyclones doesn't usually work out that well. Does turn around.
It's hard too, so it's really difficult to take on this army. Mobility for a mech player is not something that's normal.
Yeah, it is tricky, and the Vipers aren't here. They're not going to be able to blinding cloud anything. They try to abduct, I guess, into the Queens and Hydras, but there's only so much Zerg left over.
The Cyclones have already locked on to everything. This game's over. Lillekanin's run away with it. You've got to stop this before it snowballs. And with Roaches spawning, none of this becomes a problem. Banshee's taking care of the Roaches. Liberators sorting everything out. Liberators aren't even getting any action this game. It's all the Banshees and the Cyclones.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's game over. Matiz, and maybe if he had all of his army together in a concave, he actually takes a pretty decent fight, but everything will make it tricky, basically. Like having to actually catch up to the Cyclones, having detection. But he, yeah, it didn't matter. He just didn't have enough. Yeah,
well,
GG.
Congratulations to Lillekanin. It's a best of one, so he advances on to go fight against Snoot. And that's a big part of why we wanted to cast this series first, but that also turned out to be much better than expected in wanting to see that excellent new map.